Hey there folks, KJS Painting and Renovations again. We're doing a quick video here on how to replace window, the window weights. You take off these trim pieces first and use a pry bar to do that. Sort of reach in here, pry bar, just pry those off. So now the window is loose. That's how the window comes out. Take these nails out so I can actually get it out. Okay, before we pry this piece out right here, you can see that that's where the outside trim piece goes on. But before we pry it out, we want to cut the paint so it comes out easier. So we want to do that here, and we want to do that down here. Cut all this out. In addition to cutting along here and then cutting at the base, you want to cut along the wall too, because you don't want to paint the wall, you just want to paint the trim, and you don't want to hurt the trim. And it's all redwood, it's in great shape. Okay, we got this off now, and so we'll just put this down here and up, and there goes the window weight. You can see there it is. Sometimes these get lost in the wall, but we found it. There she blows. And you can look at the window here. Here's the edge of the window. See, the rope goes in here and we'll tie a knot and it just fits in there. So okay, well, we're going to take this side off now. You might wonder how to start it. We cut it, remove the paint here, and cut it up there in the corner, and we cut this edge so the paint on the wall is going to be clean. But one way to start this is I've slipped a couple of putty knives in here, and now got the chisel. So put the chisel in here and just sort of, as we kind of get it going, there we go, it's starting to open up, and now you can see you can get this in there, and once it goes in, we just sort of pry it like that, work our way up, carefully not to break it. We're going to put it back on using the same nails. Okay folks, here's the technique for getting this trim piece off. We'll reach in there. Oh, there we go. Removed all the paint in the bottom. Kind of work our way up. Pry on the whole thing. Okay. Okay, well, you can see the technique. Okay, folks, you can see this piece here is coming off nice and clean. Tip-top shape. It's all redwood. That's that. Notice this line is nice and clean here. That's why you want to use the carpet knife and cut that clean, because we don't want to paint the walls. We just want to fix these weights and touch up the paint job on the trim and put this back together. Okay, it's getting real late in the day, so we've just put this back temporarily with the glasses in, and we've got some nails just to keep it in there temporarily. A couple more nails here just to keep the window itself in. And we'll go outside and we'll put one more nail in on the outside, just so that you can't just come in here. So we're going to come back and work on this another day. We're back again to put some to fix the window weights in this old window. It's from it's about a 90-year-old house, and so between the time we left and getting back today, we did some work here. We took this window, it's in temporarily right now. We took this window and we power sanded this area and primed it, and we also we went and glazed the glass into place, because the glass was broken. And so we're going to put this down here. The trim's going to go right back on. Here's the trim. Trim's going to go right back on, nice redwood. We're even going to use that nail. We've got some rope, so we're going to retie up the weights. Inside here, if there are nails or anything sticking out that could get in the way of the weights going up and down here, you want to remove the nails, anything that could hinder the movement of that weight up and down. Some of these nails need to come out, so this is a great tool for removing nails. Like so, they come out. These have to come out. Over here, down here, this nail's going to have to come out because the trim piece is going to go right here. So this tool works good for that. In addition to cleaning up this edge and the track where the window slides up and down, close the face here. it's important to clean up the edge on the window. This is the back side of the window trim piece here, and so we're going to do the same treatment to that. We're going to leave these nails inside the trim piece here. These are going to stay because those are going to go through, they have to go through the plaster. This is plaster in here, so we're going to use these existing holes, and we've got our lube here, and because we can get inside, oops, we're just going to get in there. We're getting to the fun part now. You can see I've tied a square knot in here. I guess this would be called a double knot. And so we've got new rope on there, and you bring the rope and you put it up through the pulley, and you can see we have our window weight going up and down inside the track here. This is the piece that holds it in. We took this out earlier. I've marked it with an L so I know that it's the left piece, and this needs to be cleaned up too. This piece fits in here like so, and you can see that's going to hold the window, and it's also part of the sliding mechanism. And just look at how nasty this edge is. I've just removed about 80 years of old paint on this edge. This is the trim piece that forms the other part of the track where the window is going to slide up and down, so it's important to get this area nice and clean. You can see this is how this works. It's turned up on edge, but the rope is going to come in here. It goes down this track. It goes through here, and you tie a knot in here, and some folks put a little nail that holds it in place. Might be a good idea, but you tie a knot there. Just a note, I used a nylon rope. People say don't use a nylon rope because it's going to stretch. I don't think it's going to stretch more than 3 or 4 inches, and it will still have the full reach of the window. Here's the kind of knot you're going to want to make. It's pretty simple. You just take the rope here and you make a simple knot like you normally do, and you go once, twice, and you pull it together, and you get one of these knots, and you just pull that together like so. I think it's called a square knot. That's the kind of knot you want to make. You see, we have our knot. You want to make the knot as close to the pulley as possible, and so as we pull this down, you see the weight's going up, and here's the window. And so if I rock the window out a bit, there's that little hole that this knot's going to fit into. One more note, we took some matches and we melted down this the frayed end after we cut it. That frayed end we heated up and got it all gooey, and then took the putty knife and kind of pushed it all together. So that's one of the things you should do on this knot, so that it's one nice little chunk that we're going to put in the window right now. So there's how the knot fits in that little hole, and we don't want the knot to stick out beyond that edge there, because that's where it slides up and down. So you want it to be nice and flush. An added note, I decided to put one more knot in here on the window weight, and then melt this down inside here so that it won't, so that it's not going to come out. Just to make sure we got it, use our putty knife here and just sort of push that all into one big clump there. There we go. Ha. That's going to stay put now. Okay, now this side's done. We got this knot ready to go. Here we kind of do want to do the knot like I showed you. And on this side it's not as important. You know, there's a lot of ways to tie up this side. You know, this one I decided to double up on it. I thought it'd be a little beefier. This side's hooked up, and we got this knot in here, nice and tight. You can see that the window works very nice. Works very well here. So here's the outside trim piece. We have this piece right here. got one existing nail. We're going to use that existing nail, put it right back into that hole, and it's going to fit in right here. So we're going to hammer on this right behind the nail. So makes a little bit of a racket, but here it goes. See, I'm using a smaller hammer because this piece I'm nailing to is not all that beefy, so we don't want to hit it with a big old hammer and beat the heck out of it. So I chose a smaller hammer to use. You can see that's going to give us a pretty good bite once that gets in there without sticking out in too far and getting in the way of the weights. You can imagine you got a big nail sticking in there, and then the weights are going up and down, and that's okay. Just make sure to take care of that once the piece is on. Make sure that that trough is clean. Well, I almost forgot to put on this existing piece first before I got busy with my finish nails on this piece that holds the window. Yeah, of course we got to put this other piece of trim in here. Otherwise we couldn't get it in there if that was on there, if that was socked in there real well. So this one here you can see. And we have the same thing, a couple nails here using the existing nails and some very gingerly kind of just pop that in. We'll use a couple more nails. And then we put this on. You can see it's going to be a minimum paint job afterwards. Just a little caulking and touch-up paint here and here. Where it meets the wall, you're not even going to be able to tell. And a little touch-up down here. And of course, touch-up paint on the window. Get the hardware back on. And we'll call this job finished. Over on this side, we're going to use a bigger finish nail to keep this from moving around. So we're going to put this in about right here, going through the bigger piece of this redwood farther away from the edge so it won't split, but then toenailing in to catch the backing behind it to sock this down. And we'll maybe just do 3 of these, should be tight enough. And I normally use my nail gun here, but we're not doing that today. All this nailing inside can be pretty loud, so as you can see, it's not a bad idea to have some ear protection. It's like gunshots going off here with this hammering in this tight corner. So that's one thing to look out for. Also, when these nails went in, the bigger ones, I staggered them slightly so that they wouldn't be on the, this one's slightly inboarded here, so it wouldn't be on that one same piece of grain and want to split that piece. So you want to catch different parts of the grain as you nail and just do slight cheating here and there. There's some art and science to nailing proper. Another reason to use some of the existing nails when you're putting it back together, those existing nails are going to index it back to where it originally used to be. Is what we want, so we're putting this back together. So that's one reason for using some of the existing nails again. So there you have it. I think that's going to wrap up this how-to series on how to reinstall these window weights. Here, the rest of the job is basically a paint job. We're going to put the hardware on after the paint goes on. So a little bit of hardware goes on here, and a nice little grab's going to go on here. But this trim is nailed on. It's nice and solid. You want to use enough nails so that it's solid and it doesn't move around. So when you caulk it and paint it, it's not going to crack. But not so many nails that you can't take it off easily in the future. So I hope this how-to series has been helpful on how to replace these window weights. Just look how beautiful this is, how this opens. I mean, this is one finger here, and just one finger up and down. You get a nice breeze working up, a little bit of a sweat in here. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you don't want to do this sort of thing, you can give somebody else a call, or you can give me a call. So thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and have a nice day.